Calgary's downtown could once again have a full-service police station.
We know that our downtown core is disproportionately impacted as far as violent incidences, social disorder, other issues.
But what do Calgarians think of the idea? Plus, amid global trade tensions, how are farmers feeling?
Every month we wish we would have bought more last month because it's higher.
As the cost of doing business is way up. And Manitoba's premier is planning social media bans for kids.
Our kids will never be for sale, and their attention and their childhood should never be profited from.
Should Alberta do the same?
CTV Calgary, local breaking news with Jacqueline Wilson.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. The city is preparing to bring back a full police station to the downtown core, but for the first time in nearly a decade. And while some Calgarians love the idea, others are skeptical about the implementation. Moses Waldo reports.
For the first time in nearly a decade, Calgary could have a permanent downtown police station if Mayor Jeremy Farkas has his way.
Having a visible presence for the Calgary Police Service, but not just the police service, but also many of the other community partners and providers, will go a long way to be able to address some of the perception of safety.
It's been on the mind of Mayor Farkas since his time as councillor a decade ago. It's also part of his campaign promise as mayor.
It's not enough to know that there might be help somewhere. It's important for our local residents and businesses to know that they have a very specific place that they can go to any day of the week.
The last time CPS had a main office downtown was in 2017. They currently have a community counter on 6th Avenue Southwest, but it does not have 24-hour capacity, meaning no police patrols or a place to process arrests. Those who come to downtown regularly see more of a police presence as a positive.
That could be a bit more reassuring than not having something that could just take a bit more time when I need that help.
It's also welcome news to the group representing the 2,600 downtown businesses who are often shouldering the burden when crime strikes.
We hear from all of those businesses every single day, and this is the stuff that they're looking forward to. If there's a disturbance in a business and they know that call will take them 45 minutes to have some action, whereas there could be a patrol coming down the street, that's a meaningful improvement.
Most of council is open to the idea, but one area council member says having a building is not much of a deterrent and points to other areas like East Hastings in Vancouver, which has a police station.
It's about the officers, the supports, and all the other agencies all working together in tandem to deliver the results. Buildings don't deliver safety, police officers do.
And this is really just reinforcing our Calgary Police Service as just that, as a service.
Moses Waldo, CTV News, Calgary.
The motion to reopen a downtown station received a majority in council, and the topic will be discussed on May 26th. Well, a man is in hospital after being hit by a C-train downtown. Police say it happened about 8:30 p.m. at 7th Ave, 3rd Street Southeast Station near the Central Library. The pedestrian was transported to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. And a child was badly hurt in a rollover in the Northeast this afternoon. An SUV ended up on its roof on Temple Drive near 60th Street. It appears it collided with another SUV that was also damaged. The child was rushed to hospital in stable condition. Police are investigating a hit-and-run collision that sent a teenage boy to hospital. Happened about 11:30 a.m. behind the Village Square Shopping Centre on 23rd Ave and 52nd Street in the Northeast. Police believe an altercation happened between a male driver and a teenage boy, and the driver attempted to leave the area in his vehicle and struck the teen. The youth sustained non-life-threatening injuries and was transported to hospital in stable condition.
So I was on the way back to school and I seen some cops over by the car wash. So I just went there and I seen someone I knew and they told me that so-and-so got hit by a vehicle and that he flew in the air and then landed on his head, right?
And I heard it was purposely too, over an altercation apparently, but I don't know for sure.
Police have not publicly released suspect details or the description of the vehicle involved. There's no word yet if there will be any charges laid. Well, police are searching for a man that they say was involved in 2 separate assaults about 20 minutes apart in the city's southeast. Police say that the assaults happened at Fish Creek Park between 5 and 5:30 p.m. last Monday. In one case, a woman was jogging near Mallard Point when a man riding an e-scooter sexually assaulted her. The suspect is believed to have been watching the woman near the on-site bathrooms. After the assault, the man rode the e-scooter toward Douglasdale area. The man is described as being in his late teens to early 20s, about 6 feet tall. He was wearing black pants, a red hooded sweatshirt, and was playing music on his speaker while riding the e-scooter. If anyone does have any information, you are asked to contact police or Crime Stoppers. Former Dances with Wolves actor and convicted sexual predator Nathan Chasinghorse has been sentenced to 37 years to life, minus about 3 years of time already served. Chasinghorse was found guilty of multiple counts of sex assault against a minor and other charges in Nevada. The 49-year-old had a group of followers described as the Circle. Prosecutors say Chasinghorse used his reputation as a medicine man to prey on Indigenous women and girls. He's told the court today he denies the charges. He's also wanted on warrants from BC RCMP and Sutina Police. A Calgary truck driver responsible for the deadly Humboldt Broncos bus crash will not be deported for the moment. Jaskarat Sidhu was supposed to be on a plane to India today after serving his sentence for dangerous driving, but a federal court judge granted a last-minute delay. 8 years ago, Sidhu drove through a stop sign into the path of the bus, killing 16 people and injuring 13 more. Sidhu's lawyer argued that the Border Services Agency's refusal to delay the deportation on humanitarian and compassionate grounds was unreasonable. The judge says that Sidhu can stay in Canada until the federal court considers the case. Sidhu suffers from PTSD and depression and has a child with complex medical issues.
The family could be broken up for years or even permanently. They have a son who's got medical issues that prevent him from being able to live in India. So it could have been a highly disruptive. So when the decision came through on Friday saying that they had a reprieve, of course there's tremendous relief. They know it's only temporary.
Michelle Stresnitsky, mother of a crash victim Ryan, calls the delay ridiculous. Many of the Humboldt Broncos parents have been urging the government to go through with the deportation. British petroleum giant Shell is taking over Calgary-based energy producer ARC Resources. The deal is valued at $22 billion. ARC has holdings in Alberta and BC in the Montney Shale Basin. Shell says that the deal will expand and strengthen its footprint in Canada for decades to come. The boards of both companies unanimously supported the transaction, which is expected to close in the second half of this year, subject to regulatory approvals. And Rogers Communications, a major Canadian media and tech company, plans to offer buyouts to half of its 25,000 employees. A company spokesperson told the Globe and Mail Rogers is taking steps to adjust its cost structure to reflect the business realities of the current environment. Some business units will be ineligible for the offer, and that includes on-air talent, Sportsnet employees, and union workers. The cost to raise cattle is going up, and so is the price of beef at grocery stores. But Alberta's agricultural industry is feeling optimistic. Tyson Fedor reports.
If you go to the grocery store and are shopping for beef, you will have noticed the soaring price, 14% in the last year, according to Statistics Canada.
The whole world that can afford it seems to really enjoy beef.
Demand remains, but it comes as livestock prices are up. What was a $1,500 cow now sees Leighton Colk selling it for more than double.
Every month we wish we would have bought more last month because it's higher. It's like it feels like runaway inflation today.
But Colk says the cost of doing business is way up, paying more for feed and for hay. Futures Market says cattle prices are up 6% in the last month, 20% compared to last year.
The cattle business is not jump in for 6 months and get out and wait till it gets better and then jump back in. You're in it for the long haul.
Calgary's business community hosted the province's ag sector Monday. Many feel there is a level of optimism within the sector that has not been felt in some time.
The fact that China has lifted its ban on Canadian beef being imported into the country, fantastic. So that really is a great opportunity for us as well. And certainly we know that we have what the world needs: food, fuel, fertilizer.
But getting beef, grains, or fertilizer to other markets, including Asia, has been difficult due to high shipping costs.
It's great to make the statement that we want to double our agricultural industry, but when our rail's already 100% utilized, how are we going to get that doubling of that to market?
Despite the optimism for some, others in the industry say global volatility has challenged the sector like never before.
Just in recent years, we endured those droughts, COVID, policy issues out east, multiple supply chain collapses, and even last year's Liberation Day. But what we've encountered over the past several weeks has impacted global agriculture like very few events in history. It could literally take years for us to regain equilibrium.
Tyson Fedor, CTV News, Calgary.
Well, it is a warm week ahead, and Danielle, I am so happy we're talking about the sunshine rather than feet of snow.
You're right. This is one we can finally look forward to. It doesn't come with 90-kilometer-per-hour gusts or snow or very cold temperatures. We're going to get warmer and warmer throughout the week, so this is just getting started. All right, we do have a bit of a wind chill to talk about for tomorrow morning, just to make sure you're prepared. A wind chill of around -6 when off to work and school. A mix of sun and cloud for the day. And by the supper hours, we do have a pretty decent chance of seeing either an isolated shower or even a non-severe thunderstorm in the city. More details on that coming up.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks, Danielle. Well, should Alberta have a social media and a chatbot ban for children? Manitoba's premier says he's moving forward with protection, so should we follow suit?
You're watching CTV News, Calgary.
Manitoba Premier Wab Kinew announced over the weekend that his province will be rolling out a social media and a chatbot ban for children as more governments around the world move to protect kids online. Exactly how they would work is unclear. Tyler Barrow explains.
Our kids will never be for sale, and their attention and their childhoods should never be profited from.
On Saturday, Manitoba Premier Wab Kinew told a crowd of NDP supporters a social media and chatbot ban was coming. Who it would target and how it would work was not addressed. But in Calgary, it's a move Cody Provency welcomes, especially before her daughters start using social media platforms.
It's concerning. I don't want them to go on social media and get into some bad things.
While outcry grows for stricter AI regulation after the Tumbler Ridge shooter's ChatGPT account was flagged by the company but never passed on to Canadian authorities. Darren Hamlin held off on giving his children phones until they were 16, but as they missed out on communicating with their friends through social media, he eventually gave in.
There's no level playing field for parents because we have to act together in order to change things.
Alberta's government says it is watching what Manitoba is doing, but no restrictions are being considered yet.
Time is up.
Meanwhile, youth from across the country met in the nation's capital on Monday, demanding the federal government introduce and pass the online safety legislation, similar to legislation Australia made in December for kids under 16.
Time for Canada to keep pace, to pass legislation that will keep our kids safer in this digital world and hold these tech companies accountable.
Back in Calgary, some grade 12 students see the downside of social media.
Violence and a lot of body image issues come from social media.
But they don't see a ban working.
Kids, they would find a way around it, and I think it's worse for them to be sneaky.
A better solution would just be that education piece about it.
Tyler Barrow, CTV News, Calgary.
Elections Alberta has asked schools to give kids a day off on referendum day because schools are used as polling sites. The Calgary Board of Education has posted its updated instructor calendar. Instead of having Friday, October 23rd off, there will be no classes on Monday, October 19th. Calgary's Catholic Board hasn't posted how it will adjust its calendar to accommodate referendum day. Former Mount Royal University professor Frances Widdowson was arrested over the weekend for violating a trespassing notice issued against her by the University of Lethbridge. Back in 2023, Widdowson was scheduled to speak at the school before a large protest involving hundreds of students stopped that from happening. In February, she was issued a trespassing notice after an unscheduled event at the U of L campus, and that triggered a 6-hour student protest. The U of L says that Widdowson was reminded of the notice in writing last last Monday. She was then arrested and ticketed for trespassing on campus on Saturday. Widdowson was fired from Calgary's Mount Royal University in 2021 over her controversial views on residential schools. Prime Minister Mark Carney announced a new $25 billion sovereign wealth fund today that he says will help build major projects and give Canadians a direct stake in the country's future. Kevin Green reports.
The Canada Strong Fund will invest $25 billion of public money alongside private investment in a fund to help build major projects.
The fund will be professionally managed and operate as an arm's-length independent Crown corporation.
Calgary's Chamber of Commerce says if it gets building started, that's what matters.
It's a great initiative, fantastic announcement.
But some economists warn Carney's version of arm's length might be pretty short arms.
So we're borrowing a lot of money that we don't have to fund projects through an agency that appears to be at arm's length, but where really bureaucrats are going to be deciding where the money goes.
Environmental groups say it's a good idea, but with a big caveat.
But it has to be geared towards projects like renewable energy.
Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre says it's not a wealth fund if the government is still in debt.
He's talking about a sovereign debt fund. He wants to put another $25 billion on the national credit card.
The Canadian Taxpayers Federation is worried too.
This is unfortunately going to be another huge waste of taxpayers' money.
Carney says the goal is to make the fund one all Canadians can share in.
This will be a Government of Canada fund, but more importantly, this will be a people's fund.
Will it be a good investment? Financial advisors say it's too early to tell.
It's a very interesting play model. I just want to see how it works out. So we're months away from understanding that.
Still, some have made their decision. Would you invest in it?
Yes, I am Canadian. My children are Canadian. And my grandchildren are Canadian, and Canada's strong. We have to go all the way.
I don't think so. I mean, look at how much money we've put in with our tax dollars, and we just keep going farther and farther into debt. So I'd be pretty skeptical that you could trust them to actually grow this thing.
Kevin Green, CTV News, Calgary.
All right, stay with us. Danielle Simone is along next with her Skywatch weather forecast.
All right, well, we're coming off a pretty wild week. Crazy winds, snow, very cold conditions. Now, temperatures have started to climb, and this is just the beginning. This is a look at daytime highs. 7 degrees in Calgary, Brooks, Medicine Hat, Drumheller. 9 was the high in Lethbridge and Pincher Creek. 8 for Milk River. 8 in Banff. So those are mild temperatures in comparison to what we've had over the last 5 days. And we're just going to start climbing until we get into that 20-degree range. What we're looking at is a ridge of high pressure that is starting to work its way in, but it's not really going to strengthen until Wednesday and Thursday. That's when we'll see our warmest weather. So for tomorrow, as that ridge builds in, we also have this system tracking stateside. And as it does that, it's going to create some instability in southern Alberta. So that could lead and should lead to late day showers and thunderstorm activity, which I'll show you in the futurecast in just a second. First, here's that ridge of high pressure that will really start to build in. Again, by Wednesday and Thursday, we're going to allow the warm air to just build under this. And that's why we'll get into the 20s for pretty much every community in southern Alberta. All right, futurecast, what we're looking at as we head through tomorrow is just a mix of sun and cloud for the day. Overall, a really nice day, a bit of a chilly start again, a wind chill of around -6 when off to work and school. We should see a good amount of sunshine throughout the day, but then there's a look at that late day instability, especially closer to the supper hours. We'll have that develop right along the mountains and then track off to the east. It should have enough steam to make its way anywhere from Olds down through Calgary towards Lethbridge, so all down Highway 2. And in through Pincher Creek area as well. And these little dots here of yellow, this model is suggesting that even some weak thunderstorms are possible. So this could come with a little bit of lightning, small pea-sized hail, a decent downpour in some isolated areas. It will be brief though, and it will work its way out. But this is what you can expect. We have a decent chance of seeing this in the city by the supper hours for tomorrow. Then on Wednesday, things start to stabilize a little more. So there will be some development off to the west once again, but it doesn't look like it will have enough steam to make its way into the city. We'll just get some cloudy periods at times for those supper hours. And and temperatures will climb even further. So 13 for tomorrow. Again, wind chill of -6 to kick off the day, and then later in the day, that chance of a shower or non-severe thunderstorm. Stable for Wednesday and Thursday. By Thursday, temperatures will climb close to that 20-degree mark. We'll likely hit 20 for Friday, and then late Friday, even though Friday will be a very nice day overall, later in the day, by the supper hours, we get into that chance of showers and non-severe thunderstorm activity again.
Okay, thanks, Danielle. Well, new crews responsible for protecting our provinces from wildfires have been training for weeks ahead of the wildfire season. Curtis Goodrum has more.
Initial attack trainees load up helicopters, ready to be sent on their final test.
Get about 2 people on nozzles. We'll have both of our hose lays. Make sure we have 2 and 3 on there.
Facing wildfires on the ground.
The terrain has been pretty tough. It's pretty dense stuff. We're going through lots of safety scenarios, lots of tactics for fire. And
each year, 150 trainees are put through 3 weeks of classroom and hands-on training, teaching them how to effectively fight wildfires.
You're learning a lot in a short period of time, and so it's really just an introduction to the job and all of the safety features and all the things we're going to want them to really know. But ultimately, they'll go out to their crews and they'll continue to train.
Despite a wet spring, snowpack in the area is gone, so crews will have to be ready for forests like this to flare up at any minute. These recruits say they're ready.
I'm excited to just get on patrols and get back to Lac La Biche and start working.
I think it's going to be a great season. Everyone seems super ready.
Alberta Wildfire says while the season in northern Alberta is off to a slower than usual start, the south of the province is much drier.
It's really too early to say what fire season is going to bring. The big determining factors for us when it comes to spring wildfires are how the snow melts and how much rain we receive.
We always prepare to be ready for kind of anything that the season will throw at us, and so we'll just have to see what happens.
Now that crews have moved through the training, they'll wait, ready to be called upon.
There's always something that comes up unexpected, but that's why we do this training.
From Hinton, Curtis Goodrum, CTV News.
Well, it is the start of rodeo season. After the break, we'll meet an Alberta bull rider that's breaking the stereotypes. 18-year-old Tegan Bertamini is getting ready for a rodeo in Hinton this weekend. The teen from Acme is one of the few female bull riders in her sport. Her passion was sparked 7 years ago when she hopped on a calf for the first time, and it's been a wild ride since, competing in her first school rodeo in 2019.
I just feel so like I've conquered something so big. After I stay on for the 8 seconds, I was like, I just did that, and the adrenaline rush really gives me something.
Bertamini would love to inspire other young females to give this sport a shot. Well, hundreds climbed the McHugh Bluff stairs on Sunday to raise money for families experiencing housing instability. Calgary's most famous set of stairs are not for the faint of heart. The challenge was met head-on by those taking part in the 15th annual Steps to End Homelessness event. Organizers were hoping to raise between $120,000 and $200,000 to benefit In From the Cold, which is the largest family shelter in Alberta. Well, that is all from us. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great night.